It was. And as you hear him say that, when you talked about when you rush for 250, something else has got to give. This is not how the Eagles came out and were playing this game on offense. They didn't come out and say, hey, we're just going to run the ball. For the first quarter, other than the long play to Devontae Smith, they really couldn't get much going at all. Yeah. I'm in the stadium. The fans are booing.
They're booing.
Theo Jackson has an interception. Next thing you know, Vikings fumble. They get the ball back. They just kick a field goal, not moving the ball. Fans are letting them hear it. Then next thing you know, DeAndre Swift says, hey, Philly, I'm home. Give me the ball. They start handing the ball off to DeAndre Swift. They go on a 16-play drive. 13 of those plays were all running plays. They ran the ball right at Minnesota. Other than Harrison Phillips up front, there was nobody that could get a hand and slow down this running game. DeAndre might have been the best Swift from Pennsylvania last night, watching him just take off and run down the sideline.
Nice, Jay.
Fantasy owners had to be pissed off because DeAndre Swift was sitting there, didn't know whether they should play him or not. Hey, it's going to be a running back by committee.
He had 2 touches last week.
Not
2 carries, 2 touches.
2 touches, that was it. I don't know what the heck Sirianni was doing last week, but this week, Gainwell out. Swift just had himself one hell of a performance, so much so that A.J. Brown was pissed off on the sideline. But a conversation nonetheless. I enjoyed Hurts being able to respond right back at him. It wasn't a full-blown argument. He has some things to say, followed up by, and you figure that thing out when you get back home.
I've got a few thoughts on the game. I watched the entire thing. The Vikings offensive line with no Darisaw once he's out there, and then when you've got the 2 guards who look like they're nervous and the center's out with Bradbury. If the Eagles do it again this year, like, that defensive line is going to be the reason why, I think. It's unbelievable watching this game, the entire game. And they're coming along. Like, for years it was your usual suspects for the Eagles, and now it's the second wave of guys, the youth. You've got Jalen Carter, of course, but Jordan Davis looks amazing. If Jordan Davis makes the leap in year 2, we're talking serious, like, historic defensive line stuff. Fletcher's still out there, but Josh Sweat was flying off the field. I loved watching this Eagles defensive line just absolutely manhandle their opponents because you know in the run game the Eagles can do it. All that said, and I don't know what WIP has going on this morning. I don't know what Philly's got going on this morning in the sports radio. Like, I'm in this weird place with the Eagles where, yes, they're 2-0. Jalen Hurts and that, it just was a little herky-jerky. You run for 255, you're going to win the game. Like that. The passing game, though, like, I know he had Devontae twice, but it feels a little bit more like 2021 than it does 2022, if I'm allowed to say that. And I hate throwing stones. They're 2-0, and they've played 2 games in 10 days. Like, that's great. Like, they're where they want to be. Everything's great.
No, they got
to clean it up. They got to clean it up, man. Like, 34 points not enough.
Turn the ball over 3 times in the first half.
I did not feel like this was an Eagles Super Bowl offense, and Jalen Hurts did not look great in the passing game.
Herbie was on it, too. In the middle of the game, he kind of said, it just doesn't look comfortable. Like, if you woke up this morning, you see the box score and the final score, you're like, what? I'm telling you, if you watch the game, it doesn't look, it doesn't have the flow and the fluidity. Like last year, Jalen Hurts was like the coolest man on the planet. He looked so cool and so slick.
On the
and
cover
so
of every magazine.
And just you watch him, he's just like, I got this. When he drives back to, it doesn't have the same flow.
They also lost their OC.
Yeah, and it's week 2 in a
row. I get it.
All that. We may be doing that a lot this year, being like apologizing for the Eagles' wins as they just stack. What do we say? Stack wins.
They ran for 255 yards. It's pretty good.
I have to address the elephant in the room, and I'll do this on behalf of Vikings fans. So next year, you know, this is an election year, and you know the big topics are going to be, you know, the economy and health care, and then fumbling through the back of the end zone. Like you have to have a take when DeSantis and Pence are debating. Never mind what you think about foreign policy. How do you feel about this? You each have 2 minutes on the clock, gentlemen. Go. If you know this rule, people have bemoaned it. If you Google the phrase "worst rule in sports," it'll come up that this right here, which was a fumble from Justin Jefferson and went over the pylon, is Eagles ball, and they get it, and it's a touchback. And anytime it happens to a team, the fan base gets so mad. Worst rule in sports, worst rule. First of all, it ain't even close to the worst rule in sports. I mean, you want to talk about intentional walks in baseball and some of that nonsense they do in that sport? It's not even close. I would love to take up for the people. I don't care enough. I used to, and I don't care enough. Honestly, don't fumble by the goal line. There are a million rules, Jason, that benefit the offense. This is like the last one that's waving a flag for the defense. It's not the reason they lost. I cannot pound the table this morning being like, this was taken from the Vikings. We must convene the competition committee. It's nonsense. I see people on Twitter that we all respect that like have really impressive careers and opinions, and they're so impassioned.
Like there's a million issues in the world. This is the one they're lying on the tracks for.
Someone just burned their house down.
Yes.
They're that mad about the fumble.
This is my
Why
hill.
are you so mad about that? I don't know. By the end of the show, I might name their names because I was like, dude, you are going off about this? You're better than this. I can't get there. I don't care if they change the rule. Justin, hold on to the ball. He went like this. His fault. So should anybody else bemoaning this rule. We ain't changing it. Now I don't want it changed. Don't change it. That's it.
He was reaching for the pylon, and that's what you get for trying to reach for the pylon and get across. Can I circle back to like you apologizing for the Eagles' wins? That annoys me. I don't like it because 2-0 is 2-0. And Herbie was also all over it last night. Kirk Herbstreit said that in this meeting with Jalen Hurts, he was impressed with the fact that Jalen came out and said, all the things that I amassed last year, all the stats, all the awards, I would have given it all up if I could just have won that Super Bowl. And he's going to tell his teammates that. You don't think that Jalen Hurts cares that AJ's barking at him and that he had to rush for 255 and hand the ball off and not pass? When Kirk Cousins is standing on the other side with 4 touchdowns, it's great. They're 0-2. Like, this continues to be like the statistical argument versus the win argument. The Eagles are 2-0. And frankly, I don't really care how Jalen got there or what he looks like. It's a long season. You have to be able to win different ways, too. So the fact that the Eagles have found different ways than they won last year, I think that's actually great and dangerous for them. So I cannot get on board with the apologizing for the Eagles win because Kirk Cousins did a good job with your 4 touchdowns, and he played great. But you didn't win.
Really good.
You didn't win. And like, that is what's frustrating if you are a Vikings fan versus if you're an Eagles fan. I don't want to hear it. 2-0, you're good. It's fine.
There's going to be more of this, though, don't you think?
Yeah, if you're a Vikings fan,
I'm not doing it.
Just don't turn the ball over. And I think Eagles fans, what they're saying when they see the offense is, we're not just looking to win. Like to Jalen Hurts' point, we want to win that game at the end. And if they don't improve on the passing game, they're not going to make it to that game at the end. I have
a good theory too on the DeAndre Swift 2 touches. I just thought of it, and they knew they had 2 games in 10 days.
They wanted to save him.
And they wanted to save him.
Yeah, very good.
That's petty and personal.
Here we go.